Hey, TikTok. Hi, how's it going? I am just back from being off the grid, as I like to say. It sounds so exotic when I say that. I was traveling and I'm home. And I experimented with not going on social media much at all when I was away, but I'm back and I am just so curious to see how you're doing with your clutter, with your stuff. Hello. And if you're struggling with clutter and stuff, and if you're struggling with clutter, I am here to help you. It's as easy as that. This is what I love to do. And this is what I do for my clients and what I do when I show up on these TikTok lives. So what I do, this is how I roll, is I will show up occasionally on TikTok. I will do it very informally. Like right now, I was writing a note to myself and I said, I should do a TikTok live at some point. And I said, I don't know. I'll do one right now. So it's kind of early in the morning where I am. But I just wanted to just make myself available to say maybe hello to some new people. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. And also maybe to say hello to some people who have been following me for a while because I'm here to help you. It's what I do. I'm a decluttering life coach. I help you if you're struggling with clutter, with stuff, if you're feeling overwhelmed and stuck and don't know where to start decluttering. If it's starting to get nice out, the weather where you are, and you're looking and saying, I don't want to spend my spring and summer like weighed down in my house full of stuff. I want to go out and play. I can help you with that. It's not overwhelming. I make it fun. The way I do my coaching is I treat it like a road trip. Like, see this little car that I made? I felt like a little kid, like cutting my stuff out of construction paper. I am here to help you, with what you're struggling with. I know we all have struggles. I have some of my own because I'm a human. But the cool thing is I am here for you because I am really good at helping people take the overwhelm out of being cluttered. Make it easy, make it fun. So you actually see a noticeable difference in your house. You start, and you're like, I can't do it. And then suddenly you do it, and you're like, look at me, I'm doing it. And you show up again, and you show up again. So if you have any questions, if you're like, I'm cluttered, I am stuck, I don't know where to start, what do I do with this? Pop your questions in the comments. This is interactive. Like, looking at me, I just literally decided to show up really quickly, like totally spontaneously. Usually I will post when I'm doing live, but I just thought for the next half hour or so that I would show up and answer any questions you have about where you're stuck with clutter and things in your life that aren't working, where to start, how to keep going. This is what I do. I have a mailing list if you're interested. My name is Beth, but I call my coaching Destination Decluttered because I am all about the road trip. If you can look behind me, you've got these it's like a map point right there and a map point right here. And I like to make things fun and I like to make it a road trip. So, okay, here we go. So how do you start with decluttering your home? This is so great because this is probably one of the most often asked questions I have, and I'm so happy to answer it for you because it's really kind of fun. The way I start is think of it like a road trip, okay? Before you even start decluttering your home, think about why you're doing it. And I got to offer. So, like, when I first started getting some help, some self-help for myself, because that's what self-help is for, somebody asked me, like, my why. What's your why? Why are you doing this? And I had no freaking idea what they were talking about. But what I want to offer to you is think about what you want your life to look and feel like. What do you want your home to look and feel like? See over here, I'm pointing to this little pink little heart-shaped map pin. That's what I call your destination. That's what I call my coaching, Destination Decluttered. So lapis lazuli '08. What I want to say is before you even do anything, even right now, everybody who is tuning in right now can just think of, what do I want my life, what do I want my home to look and feel like? And before you even start doing a thing, get clear on like what's going to light you up, like that vision. Start to paint a picture in your head of what you want even just one room in your home to look like. One room. How does it smell? Like use all your senses. Get into it. Just sit there and imagine what one room of your home could look like. Maybe the counters are cleared. Maybe there's no clothing on the floor. Maybe that, garage is empty of stuff that you've accumulated, and really start to bring alive that feeling, that vision of this is how this room could look. And when this room looks this way, I will feel this way. And seriously, get a notebook. I work on notebooks. Use a Google Doc. I'm Gen X, so I go literally between, this morning I went from, digital to paper to digital. Write these things down. Fall in love with how you want your life to look and feel like, and then start taking tiny steps. Set yourself a timer, do some decluttering, and you're going to be closer to it. So seriously, just start with the destination in mind. Actually, I literally did. I did a quick video series before I went on my travels, and just this morning I posted a specific thing talking about going to opposite land. So there's a video. There are plenty of videos on my Destination Decluttered TikTok page here. So if you if you're just meeting me, hey, I'm Beth, Decluttering Life Coach. Destination Decluttered is where I am here on TikTok, also on Facebook, Instagram, all the places, right? So I hope those. Oh, Grocery Store Glam, nice to see you. Moving into a new home. Cindy says, moving into a new home, so I need to get rid of a lot of stuff. That's awesome. Congratulations for the new home, huh? How cool is that? Same thing, Cindy, what I want to offer is, and this is why it's so easy, and I love showing up and answering the same question for each person, because this is the great thing, is you asking your question doesn't help just you. It helps everybody who's tuning in. So first of all, congratulations on the new home. Second of all, same thing I said up thread, which is to imagine how you want your new home to look and feel. Sometimes you won't know exactly, but you'll get a vibe, right? There's certain things, and when you start to picture how you want to feel in that home, how you want to make it easy. I'll throw out a few ideas to you and see, you know what I mean? Here's a gift. This is what I would want. When I want to move into that new home, I want it to be so easy to take care of that I'm not spending so much time fussing around with cleaning. I want to be able to have time in my life to do the things I want to do. Right? So when you're thinking of moving into the new home, think of the things that you can't envision fitting in that new home. Now, I'm not saying fitting like physically, because people, sometimes having too much space can be a worse problem, because you have kind of no excuse to, sort through your things and make a decision on what fits. But I want to say what fits in your life. So Cindy, what do you want your new home to look and feel like? What do you want your life in that new home to look and feel like? What do you want to do in that home? What do you want to spend your time doing in that new place where your home is, right? And then say goodbye. Pass along the things that worked for you in the home you're in now, but you say, you know what? Maybe in this new home, I don't want to have so many clothes. Maybe I won't only want to, fit in the clothes that I will only want to wear the clothes that I feel comfortable in, that I feel like I look good in, that are easy for me to maintain. Whatever it is, if you can start envisioning, everybody, start envisioning that future life. It's not just about how your house looks. If your house just, it's like that's just the start. But when you start to think of how you want your life to look, how you want your life to feel, and what are the little things that involve that. There may be certain things like, you always thought you were going to be making bread in your new home and you barely use your bread maker. Maybe you don't bring that big bread maker to your new home, or you double down and say, you know what? I do really want to make bread in that new home, so I'm going to bring my bread making ingredients. It's up to you. The other thing too, but I think this is so important for everybody to listen to hear too. This is something that I have discovered with my one-on-one coaching clients, that I do one-on-one decluttering coaching on Zoom for a 10-week and a 20-week and a 30-week program. But anyhow, what I want to offer to you, Cindy, is just know that when you move into this new home, that you will also most likely need to declutter again. Now, I say this to take the sting out of it, or to just make it you realize that it's just part of the process. That we think before we get into a space that we know what we want in it. But then once you sit there and you put away the things and you start living in it, just start to pay attention to what you're using and what you're not using, and do an additional declutter. Now, this may take a few weeks until you're settled into the home, but just know that you will do, and you should do, another declutter to be more informed about how you are living in that home now that you're in it. Sometimes you just don't know. You know, like when my husband and I moved into the house that we live in now, it was like 18 years ago. I was selling mid-century modern furniture and decorative items and all that. So we knew what the house looked like, right? And we knew what we wanted it to feel like. We wanted it to look mod and cool and funky and whatever. But because we weren't in the house, we didn't know what was going to fit where, things like that. So we moved with too many things, like literally like four couches, 17 lamps, and it took a while for us to decide what couch, what lamps worked here, what, you know. So it takes a while, but please allow yourself, when you're moving into a new space, to know that you're going to do another kind of pass through to, you know, there are items we bring into our homes, in our lives, right? And we do that thinking that they're going to make our lives better. We do that. That's why we, you know, purchase things. And sometimes those things that we purchase work. It does make our lives better, easier, more enjoyable, all the good things. But sometimes we buy the thing with that intention, and for whatever reason, it doesn't work out, and that's okay. So you are going to move into your new place with some of the things that you have all intentions. This is going to work in my new place. But then once you start living your life there, I want to offer again that how do I want my life to look and feel right now? And maybe simple, easy, fresh, low maintenance, whatever it is for you. See if those things line up with it, and then allow yourself to do another pass and donate things in your new area. Okay, hope that helps. I like the open, no clutter space with just the basics, Cindy. So keep that in your mind when you are packing up your stuff. And the thing, here's a fun thing. I haven't offered this in a while to my coaching clients. It kind of hasn't organically come up. But when you're trying to make a decision about what you like and what you don't, if you're not used to kind of honing in on what's important to me, like should I stay or should I go? Here's a fun visual I want to offer to you. And just Julie Lynn, I see you're organizing your basement. It's become an overwhelming project. I will get to you in a minute, but here's what I want to offer. Okay, pass down stuff, Cindy, I'll totally hit that one too. But here's a great metaphor that I want to give everybody to think about the things that are important to you. So picture the traffic signals. When you're in your car, I do all of my coaching as if you're behind the wheel of your car, because you are. Everybody, you're behind the wheel of your life. If you sign off of TikTok right now and you hear nothing else except me saying you're behind the wheel of your life, and you have the ability to steer your life in the direction you want it to go to steer away from the life you don't want, to slow your roll, to put on the brakes when it's not going right, and to redirect, that's you. But what I want to offer is think of the traffic light that you're at when you're on the road. Now, in the real world, you've got your red light, yellow light, green light. I like to flip that upside down. So I say when you're trying to pay attention to what you want to keep and what you want to give away. This is a thing that can also help too with the organizing of the basement, and when you are getting rid of things that have been passed down. Think about the things that when you look at them, you immediately has a zing, a green light in your heart. Whatever that item is like, oh my gosh, yes. I love that thing. It makes my life more easy. It brings me joy. It lights me up. Like it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, oh yeah, I am never getting rid of that. Or I love that. That's coming with me, right? If you went shopping in your house, try this. You go shopping in your house. What are the things that you would pick up and buy again? And the other things that you're like, nah, that's not working out. So pay attention to the stuff that's in the green light part of your house. You know, what are the things that you look at and you say, ooh, green light. Right? A little game. I like to make things fun. Why not? Then think of red light, green light, red light. Red light is down the bottom now. Green light's near your heart. Red light's near your poop chute, as I like to say. It's at the bottom. You're like, ugh, I hate that. That's like, no, that's too heavy. It doesn't work for me right now. Ugh, like it's trash. It's broken. Whatever it is that makes you, when you look at it, you feel like an ugh feeling. Probably just Julian Lynn, like the whole basement maybe, but I kid. But pay attention to the stuff that when you look at it, you go, ugh, just that heavy feeling. Like, then here's the thing, and I think this is where, Cindy, you're talking about things that have been passed down for your mom and your grandmother. That's in the middle. That's that yield. You know, like when you're driving, there's the yellow light that you're like, should I speed up and see if I can catch it, or should I slow down? I don't know what to do in the yellow, right? So green, you love. Red is like crap. And the yellow is kind of, it's complicated. It's, you know, so what I want to offer is just that, just think about that. Now, I'll start with organize your basement has become an overwhelming project. Okay, I also want somebody else to do it all the time. I don't call that lazy, I call it efficient. I don't know. I have been managers of teams for decades. I have, had people work for me in various roles all my life, and I think it's great to be able to delegate. What I want to offer, just Julie Lynn, is if you had somebody else do it, they can't do the thing that only you can do. And the only thing you can do, and everybody who's signed on right now, the thing that you have to do with your clutter to declutter is to make a decision. Pause for effect. Is to make a decision on what is this thing, do I want it or not? If I want it, where does it go? That's kind of, honestly, you guys, that's decluttering in a nutshell. Decluttering over and over and over again, that same decision making, right? So even if you had some people come and do it, they would probably have to ask you, excuse me, ma'am, what's this? What would you like us to do with it? You'd have to make the decisions for yourself. Now, what I want to offer is you gave me a wonderful word to help you with and to help everybody. Overwhelm. Overwhelm is the feeling that keeps us stuck, not moving forward towards a clean, organized basement. Overwhelm is this feeling that comes from what I call the backseat driver thoughts in your head. Too big, overwhelming, can't even start, so big. It's like I'm so overwhelmed, right? Notice I even kind of did that, Notice that the word overwhelm has the word over in it, right? So this is what I want to offer, and this is fun because I forgot I had this. I'm going to bring my other globe in. Next time I do this, I love just, making things fun. But think of overwhelm. It's something that's over you, right? It's like, oh, this is so big and so monumentous, I can't even start, right? It's almost like having the whole world. It's like you're trying to go on a road trip from one side of the country to the other, right? But you're trying to use a globe as your map. You're like, oh, I don't even know how would I even start? It's so big. It's a whole country, right? So what I want to say is take that overwhelmed feeling of the world above you, over you, as it were. Put your hands up like this. Take the overwhelmed feeling and go like this. Deep breath. And then just slowly, physically, seriously, take your hands and do this. And slowly bring that overwhelm. It's no longer over you. Now you can look at it. It's not so overwhelmed. Bring it below your heart. Put it down in front of you. And then realize, I was just looking at it too big. I was just looking at it, instead of looking at the whole world, right? What I need is I just need to look at the one country. What I just need to look at is I need to look at it in bigger chunks. I need to chunk down. So you take the overwhelm from above you. You seriously, doing even this physical movement, it's like your brain and body are just going to make you feel so much better. Take it below your heart and say, I got this. I know anytime I feel overwhelmed, I can just chunk it down. Now, there are many ways. There are a number of easy ways to chunk it down. So you can chunk it down by time. You can chunk it down by, what kind of clutter is it? Is it surface, stored, or sentimental? But just know, everybody, when you feel overwhelmed, you're like, oh, overwhelmed. Guess what? If it's over me, I'm overwhelmed. But if I take that thing that I'm overwhelmed with, and I physically just even do this, or I envision myself doing it, and I take a couple of deep breaths, and I realize all I need to do is look down and chunk it down, chunking it down into more manageable things. That's how we all get anything done ever in life. If you really think about it, you take the big, you make it smaller, you chop it up. It's like eating a salad. How do I eat that whole head of lettuce? You take the whole head of lettuce, you bring it down, you chop it up, and you do a bite at a time, okay? Hope that helps. Now, Cindy mentions getting rid of things that have been passed down for your mom and your grandma and stuff. Now, while I'm coaching, this is another pearl of wisdom. So this is what I'm giving to you. This is what I do specifically with my one-on-one clients, but I love to share these concepts because I know they're going to change your life. And if you like the way that I coach, maybe you want to sign up for coaching with me one-on-one. You can go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com. You can sign up on my website to get on my mailing list. You can also sign up for a consultation. I actually got to check that, excuse me, because I just got back from traveling. Got to make sure my consultation calendar is checked out. So pardon me, like consultation. Yeah, we got home last night after a week away calendar. But what I want to offer is when you are trying to decide to get rid of things that people have passed down to you. Now, here's the great thing. Much like I said earlier about making a decision, the decision is up to you. You can decide what you keep and you can decide what you pass along. I like to say pass along versus getting rid of, because getting rid of kind of has a negative connotation. But what I want to offer to you and to everybody who has sentimental clutter, as I like to call it. You've got surface clutter is the easiest, stored clutter is the medium, and then sentimental clutter is the most difficult. Now, when I work with my clients, we always start with the easy stuff first to build up your muscles. So don't start, anybody, when you're going to declutter, don't immediately go to the stuff that is going to tug at your heartstrings. Start with the easy stuff. Get some easy wins. Build up your muscle, your decluttering and deciding muscle, right? But just know, for the stuff that is passed down to you, if you love it, again, throw it up against that notion of how does it make me feel? Do I see it and it brings me joy? Or do I feel it and it makes me feel sad? Is it a combo of the two? Here's the thing with sentimental clutter. The person doesn't live in the thing. They don't live in the item. The item that you have that was once owned by somebody that you loved and love, that thing is just a reminder of them. That's cool. But what I want to offer is just think about it. You could lose all of that stuff. You could get rid of all of the things that that person gave you, all of the tangible items that that person owned, every single scrap of thing, physical memory of them on the world. And even if you got rid of that, you wouldn't forget them. So Cindy, just remember, you are never going to forget your grandmother. You are never going to forget your mother. They will always live on in your heart. And if you are afraid you're going to forget certain specific stories that items remind you of, like, oh, I'm always at my desk, so I have random stuff that oh, that salt shaker reminds me of, it was on my grandmother's, on her stove, and she used to, cook with it, and I remember that. Like, use the things if they're useful. But if you've got too many things, you can take pictures of things, you can write down those stories. You can share those stories. Maybe somebody else in your family wants these things. So just remember, this is the best part, is just remembering that even if you do away with, even if you pass along the items that they owned so that they go and maybe help somebody else's life, you will never forget those people, even if you don't own their stuff. That, I hope, will release you. And so you can get the open, no clutter spaces with just the basics. I love my mother. I love my father. My dad is no longer here. He collected a bunch of stuff that I didn't care about at all. He cared about it. Rock on. He had a great life. He collected duck decoys and, I don't know, art with dead birds on it. He was a hunter. That is nothing to do with my life, but that's okay. I don't have any of that stuff in my house, but I still love my dad, and he gets it. He knows. He's like, yeah, I know that wasn't your thing, but it was my thing. And I was like, yeah, I get it, because you know what? I know my nieces and nephews. I'm not going to have them feeling guilty about my stuff, okay? Oh, I love this. So, Margie, I didn't even see your question about things belonging to your late father, so that hopefully just answered you. Yes, parting with anything that is sentimental clutter is just know that the stories live on in your heart. That you can, I don't even have my notebook with me because we just got home from vacation, but you can write down the stories in a really nice book and keep those stories. You can share those stories with the family to say, you know what, this salt shaker, your grandmother used to have this on the, on her gas stove in Dedham, and when she used to make bacon, she used to, put pepper on the bacon, and that's why I have this on my stove. Whatever the story is, share the stories, keep the people alive, okay? Yeah. Grace, Beauty, Joy, I love that you are moving into your house after renovation and want to pare down 3 storage units. Oh, hell yeah. Because just think of how much money you're spending in storage units. I tell you, I'm thinking if people just paid for coaching instead of storage units, you get rid of the storage units, you save money. You make money when you do coaching with me. It's so hysterical. I have a client I just started working with, and we talked about some things she didn't need, and she was bringing them out to the curb to bring somewhere to the friend of hers, and somebody pulled over and was like, how much you want for that? She ended up making hundreds of dollars with the items that she didn't want. I love those stories. But yes, paring down your storage units. Again, moving into your house, be intentional. Be intentional about how you want your home to look and feel and how you want your life to look and feel, because they play off each other. They have a nice dance, right? Like this room that you see right here behind me, I know it has like plain white walls, stuff like that, but for the first 15, 16 years we were in this house, it hadn't been painted. It was my room, and I just kind of moved into it, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And I had a lot of stuff in it, right? But then during COVID, when we were stuck in the house, I said to my husband, I would really like to get this room in nice shape. And we moved everything out because we had to paint it. But then I was very intentional about what did I want my room to look and feel like. I wanted it to be bright and light and cheerful. I wanted to feel like Palm Springs, California. That's my vibe. So it was like, to me, that meant like white walls with some pops of bright color. That meant open spaces for big artwork or whatever it was, So again, start to think of how you want things to look and feel. German Made 95, welcome back. Thank you. I missed you guys too. That's honestly, I'm in my pajamas. I was drinking my tea, and I thought, I just want to see how everybody's doing. I'm hoping that everybody is decluttering, because decluttering really is a way of figuring out what's important to you. It is it's so funny. I'm kind of not used to doing TikTok lives, but it's like, really is like a journey of discovery. It's like you go through your stuff in your house. You're like I just got back from vacation, and I'm reminded of the things that I own. It's like, oh, look, this, I used to like this. Do I still like it? Is it okay? Do I want to bring it forward with me? Do I want to let it go? What do I want in my life moving forward? I literally was just writing down, because I think it's good to get the thoughts out of your head and onto paper or digital, however you do it. Is what thoughts are going. Where am I right now on the road trip of my life? And where was I? Like I was just traveling. Where am I now? And where do I want to go to? I hope you're doing awesome. Nice to see everybody. See, this is why I started doing the TikTok lives, and I love these. If you haven't met me yet, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I'll be on for a few more minutes. I realized I totally did this spontaneously. That's why I'm in my bathrobe and drinking my tea. If you can like my TikTok page here. Also, so Destination Decluttered is what it's called. If you could just give it like thumbs up, it would be awesome, because I love doing TikTok lives. I'm going to schedule some more. This morning, I literally just popped on for the heck of it to be like, hey, how's it going? Hope you're decluttered. Working on it. But if you also know somebody who is cluttered, but they are not on TikTok, I have also started, I am on Facebook and Instagram and even YouTube right now. I have an email mailing list you can get on. That's right. It's next week. I'm doing just for so funny, getting back into like my life mode as opposed to vacation mode, is next week I'm doing a Zoom call just with the members of the Destination Decluttered mailing list, where we get on for an hour. You ask your question to me, and we problem solve where you're stuck and how to get you moving. So if you're interested in that, go to my website, Destination Decluttered, join the mailing list. You also get a habit tracker that I use myself. It's kind of funny. See this one right here? This is mine for the month of March. You get this automatically. You print it out. You fill it out. And I knew I was going away for X many days, so I'm not about to... Actually, it's funny. Some of these things I did, like I got a lot of steps. Like I like to make sure I'm getting exercise. But boy, did I not drink enough water when I was away. So I have to work on that. But you get one of these, and you get invited to the Zoom call. You also, if you want to do one-on-one coaching, you can totally schedule a consultation. I would love to work with you one-on-one, 10 weeks, 20 weeks, getting you from where you are cluttered to like before the summer even hits. You could be like, oh my God, I can just go out and play because my house rocks. Okay. Oh, I keep breaking up and freezing. I am sorry about that. Not over here. Could be your connection. Thank you. Yep, grandmother. Thank you. Oh, see, I love it, Tracy, that you spent $2,800, almost $3,000 on storage. Suddenly flipped a switch. That flipping of the switch is an awesome thing. Now I'm ruthless. Okay. Yeah, you know what? A lot of stuff is important. My first time listening, hoping make you feel so hopeful. Pam, I want to offer to you. That is what I do. Because here is what I have found in my life, and I'm being totally sincere, is when I feel crappy, I do crappy. But when I feel better, I do better. And had I had some hope, when I have gotten some hope and some possibility in my life, even just a little smidge, and I love this because I just heard the door shut and it's my husband who, we've been married 21 years, but I never would have envisioned my life with him 24 years ago. I would have been like, yeah, right, whatever. So having a little bit of hope in your, a little light in your heart about anything gets you to do the things that lead you to that life, okay? So Pam, Marie, 8, you can do it. If you're cluttered, everybody, you can do it. It's just stuff you bought in a store that you thought was going to make your life better, and sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Hanging on to it, being weighed down with it, guilt stories, all that. Life is too short. Let's go have some fun. Just go, you can go for a walk in the sunshine as opposed to, got to stay home and clean my room, right? Yay, German Made 95 got a bunch of small decluttering projects done this week. Just Julie Lynn. My website is destinationdecluttered.com. I should probably have one. I'm not prepared. But it's actually, you know what the neat thing is after I sign off of this TikTok live, go to my TikTok page, give it a thumbs up. I would love it. I'm kind of hoping to get to like 10,000 followers, maybe within the next week or so. I don't know. I think that would be fun. So if you know people that are cluttered, if you can spread the word and get me some followers that you think, I mean, I'm here to help people. So if you know people that could be helped, I don't want to do it just to go viral. That's stupid. I just want to help people that are struggling. Calm Carolyn, nice to see you too. Oh, I love that you're still working on it. So here's the deal. Small decluttering projects. All decluttering projects are small, right? It's like driving 20 minutes on a road trip. All hours you drive on a road trip can be chalked down into little bits. And so instead of thinking it's going to take me 40 hours to do it, congratulate yourselves that you did the little bits, because every little bit helps. That is my mantra. That's why this morning, totally spontaneously, I wasn't even thinking of going on TikTok Live, but I'm typing to myself, I really enjoy those. I should see. I was like, I don't know, I'll just do it, You go, yeah, you know what? Tackle your garage so when it's time to move, it won't be so bad. Yeah, that is wonderful. That is also to think, if I had to move, like if I was offered, this is what I love. I love making coaching fun. Play a game with yourself. Say, somebody just gave me my dream home in the space that I want, in the place that I want. But the catch is, it's half the size of the house I have now. So I can only bring half of my things. Look around your house and say, if I was moving into my dream home, but it was half the size, I could only bring, but the catch was, I can only bring half of the items that was in my store, in my home. What are the items that I would gravitate towards? Like, oh no, I have to bring that. And other things where I'm like, well, if it means a difference between living in my dream home and not, what could I pass along? Have some fun with that, Have some fun with it. Life is fun, okay? So what I want to offer is, you can do it. Decluttering is just stuff, and it's just thoughts in your head. That somebody said up thread earlier, they just want somebody else to do it. But even if you have somebody else to do it, you are the one. But this is so great. You are the one making the decisions, but you can make the decisions that lead you in the direction that you want your life to go. If you want your house to be not cluttered, you just stop bringing clutter in. You remove slowly, a bit at a time, a bunch at a time, the items that are no longer doing it for you. It's okay. It's okay to say, this did it for me at a certain point in my life and it doesn't now. Think about like little kids in their shoes. Are you going to try to cram growing kid feet into small shoes? Are you going to hang on to those shoes one day? Well, sometimes you do, because it's like, remember how tiny their little feet used to be? But they're never going to fit into them again. It's okay to evolve as a person. It is okay to say, that's what my life was like then. And some things worked and some things didn't. But to be at this point right here on whatever day it is, a Wednesday in mid-March of 2023, to be like, you know what? I saw this lady on TikTok. Her name was Beth. She was a decluttering life coach from Destination Decluttered. And she said, what do you want your life to look and feel like? And maybe that's just the little seed that, wafted over to you and sat there on your brain. And you said, I don't know, I'm going to water that seed. What would my life look and feel like? What do I want it to? Where does my life now look like I want it to? Rock on. Keep doing the things that you like. But where is it not working out for you? And what can you do to change? So that's when It's just good organized. That's why I'm here. I am going to, just as a heads up to everybody. Normally when I do TikTok lives, I will do a video and post a little like schedule of when I'm going to do them. We literally just got back last night from vacation, and I love to travel, so that's why I also love to tell people when I'm going to be, where I'm going to be. I tell you where I am when I want you to follow me, and then when I don't want you to follow me, I know that you can do things on your own with the info I give you with the videos. So sometimes I'm off the grid, as I like to say, because I want to practice not always being on social media. It was actually kind of fun. We were on a boat, which I had never really been on like a cruise ship before, and I had to practice not being on the internet. It was kind of fun, but now I'm back and I want to help you. So I will be showing up for more TikTok lives. So again, if you want to show up, there'll be a little thing that I'll post about when I will be, so you can tune in. But also spread the word if you know people that are cluttered, to be like, hey, there's a website, destinationdecluttered.com. She does one-on-one coaching. She's going to be on Facebook and Instagram and all that, you know? I say I better keep this. They don't make them like that anymore. Okay. I totally get that. Trust me. Things are not as well made. But here's the great thing. If you keep something and it's well made and you're using it, that's not clutter. It's not. That's great. Keep things that work well for you. Clutter is the stuff that doesn't work for you. Clutter is the stuff that just gets in the way. It literally, physically, and metaphorically gets in the way of the life you want. So if it adds to you, if you have a toaster that's like 50 years old and it's toasting like you wouldn't believe, keep that. But if you have things that you bought and aren't working for you, literally and metaphorically, they don't work physically, or they're just not what you thought, that's the stuff that gets in the way. So remove those things and keep only the things that work well, that bring you joy. Okay? Yeah, you can do, somebody wants to confess a problem. I am not a confessional, but this is a public forum, so whatever you want to say, you can say it in front of people. Go for it. Thinking of moving my sewing machine to the garage because having it in my closet just brings guilt. Oh, interesting. So is it because you don't sew enough and you thought you were going to sew? I bought a sewing machine. I sewed like 2 things and then it was in my closet making me feel guilty. You know what I did is I ended up finding somebody. I think my sister I offered, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes, I want a sewing machine. So maybe if you're not sewing, maybe there's somebody you know who would like to maybe like kind of permanently borrow it. Call Carolyn. Maybe somebody in your immediate circle of friends, or maybe your neighbors. Maybe somebody could really make something wonderful with your sewing machine. Just an offer. You know, the stuff that we have that's in our way could also light up somebody else's life. You know, just use it for projects now. That's perfect, and that's good to say it. Yeah, you know, there you go. So, yeah, just use it for projects. And also just say, like, the things that are bogging you down, just think of this. This is the thing that's amazing to me. Clutter is such a good problem to have. Think about it. If you don't have enough stuff, you don't have enough, that's a crappy feeling. That's lack. That's I don't have anything. I don't have enough. I am hungry. I don't have things. Now, not being hungry and feeling satiated and being like, oh, this is good. I am no longer hungry. That's a nice feeling. That kind of right in between feeling. When you have too much, clutter is a too much problem. So clutter means that not only do you have, you're not in lack. Well, you're in lack of certain things, but what you have enough, you have too much. That is the stuff that gets in the way, and that can feel just as crappy as like being hungry. Overeating when you have too much can make you feel just as like uncomfortable, much like being starving can. Okay. Cindy is asking, I have a huge family portrait of my in-laws. What do I do with that? Well, if you're saying in-laws, this is the great thing is I can only infer by what you're typing. So in-laws, so it's not your immediate family. So if you have your spouse or partner or whose family is it, involve them in the conversation. What do we want to do with this picture of your family? If you don't want it, this is the kind of the thing that I want to honestly just also break us of guilting people into keeping our stuff when we get older. Sometimes you have those things. If you don't want to hang it up, you don't know what to do with it, see if somebody else in the family wants it. You know, maybe somebody else really wants it in their house. What I want to offer too is those are some decisions that can be difficult. And here's the thing. Here's the truth about decluttering. You will never be 100% done. And I mean that in a good way. Like it will never be perfect. You will never get to the point where everything in your home is, all decisions are good and feel right. You will have an amount of items that you don't know what to do with. And some of them are these sentimental items that somebody may have spent a lot of money, or it has a picture of them or whatever. What I want to offer is maybe keep it. This is a thing I offer for sentimental items, specifically family sentimental items, right? Is 100 years from today, will somebody in your family want to see this portrait? Would they think it's cool? Think about if you had a portrait of your family from 150 years ago. Would you like to have that in your house? How cool would that be to see like how people's faces looked similar and different, things like that. So maybe what you do is you don't hang it up because it doesn't have that look and feel, but maybe you pack it away. You write down on it like what year it was made and who's the people are and how old they were and any stories you have, and then you pack it away for future generations. You know, these things are so personal to you, and that's why when I do these TikTok lives, I only do, I can only offer generalizations. Hopefully they're general enough that they can help. I mean, they're specific enough to the situation that they're going to help everybody. But until you really get into it, that's, again, the decision making of what feels right to me, you know? Yeah. And so I find that, I, even as a decluttering coach, I have a section in our basement that I'm like, I don't know what to do with those things. You know, maybe somebody else will like them in the future. And sometimes it can be like you can have something for forever. It feels like forever. And then one day you're like, oh, somebody just mentioned they need one of these. I would love this, you know? Okay, I love this. With Spirit and Grace is saying, how do I let go of so much without guilt? So much money spent. Okay, so this is funny. I am not a religious person, but earlier somebody said something about confession, and I am a ex-Catholic, so I'm going to be like, here, you know what? I'm absolving you of that guilt with Spirit and Grace. Guilt is making you feel like crap about items you bought in the store, okay? Here's what I want to release, is you bought an item at a store thinking that it was going to make your life better. It was going to make it easier to make the food. It was going to make your house look good, whatever it was. You bought something with the good thought that it was going to make your life better. When you got the item into your home, you discovered it didn't really work out that way. I tried, didn't work. Hanging on to it is not going to change that. Hanging on to it is making you feel guilty. I say, release the item and release the guilt. There is a business coach that I follow. I don't think he's a coach. He's got a lot of ideas. Excuse me. His name is Seth Godin. And he has a phrase that says, what is it? Can you tell him I'm vacation mode? I just got back. He says, ignore the sunk costs. Ignore the sunk cost. A sunk cost means the money you sunk into something, you paid for something, and then to move forward in your life, at a certain point, you're going to have to ignore the fact that you invested in something, you bought something that isn't working out. You can spend your life being stuck, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to forget that I did that, and I'm just going to move on. Because sitting there in guilt is not making your money back. Am I right? It's not. Right? But what I want to offer, Seth says that, Beth says, I say, release yourself from the sunk costs. The amount of time and money you invested in something that is not working out for you. Release yourself from that so that you can be unburdened, unguilt, and to move on, okay? It's going to happen, everybody. It's going to happen to all of us for the rest of our lives. We will forever be bringing things into our lives, thinking that they are going to improve them, make them better. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And you learn from that. So when you learn from that, then you get a little bit clearer to say, is this really going to help my life better in the long term? Or maybe I'm just feeling kind of sad, so I'm going to just buy this trinket or something, you know? So let go of the guilt. Guilt is a backseat driver feeling. Guilt is what keeps you stuck where you are when you really want your life to be something different, okay? You got that. You got it, you guys. All right, what is it? 9:20. I got to watch it because I got stuff to do. But what I want to offer, I always keep burned out candle containers. Okay, so Cindy P, I don't know. Just experiment. This is how I coach. Have some fun. Throw away or recycle. I don't know what kind of candle holder it is. Throw away one of those candle holders today and see if you survive. See how it feels to be like, I did this. I always saved. Always can be changed. Maybe just today is the day that you stopped. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I did that before. I don't want to do it now. So you take some of those candle holders and you put them where they're supposed to go. Probably the trash, maybe recycles. I don't know. But just, you're giving me the kind of like the face palm thing. So you are realizing yourself. You're saying, isn't this crazy? I do this. I don't know why I do it. But now you've made yourself aware of it. Say, you know what? I can change that. Having that awareness that you can change something is freaking powerful. And you can change. There are plenty of things in the world we cannot change one-on-one where we are right now. However, there are many things we can change in our own immediate lives with the items that we surround ourselves with the thoughts we tell ourselves. And what I want to offer is this, is when you feel better, you do better. You show up in the world better for yourself and other people. You know what it's like. When you show up, when you are next to somebody who's radiating joy and awesomeness and positivity and encouragement, that's what I call like a co-pilot kind of vibe. That's what I do. That's what I feel like. I pop onto TikTok. I do a TikTok live. I am doing this because I want to help people. And I'm radiating out some of this possibility and opportunity for you. Because keeping it to myself doesn't make me any better. It's an abundance. I have an abundance of stuff. I am good. I love my life. I love how my life looks and feels. I love my house. Like love, 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 love. I have so much of it. I'm sharing it with you. Here, have some. Take it. It's free. I wouldn't be here offering it if I didn't want you to have some, right? Possibility. It's free. And when you feel possible and when you do better, you feel better, not just for yourself. It is not a selfish act. Because when you feel better, you show up differently in the world and you are nicer to people, you help people, you're better. When you feel crappy, you do crappy. You're going to be quicker to temper. You're going to be selfish. You're going to be like me, like whatever, you know. And when I say no, there's abundance. Yeah. Don't throw away, donate. Less in landfills completely, you know. Exactly. Less guilt when you put it in the donation box. The only time I ever say put something in the trash is when it legitimately is trash that can't be renewed, recycled, donated, right? But certain things are at that point where they do go in the trash. But I am always about donating. Most of the stuff, honestly, you guys, most of the stuff in my house like has been thrifted or antiqued or, you know, saved from a landfill and, you know, trash picked. You know, so think of how your items that you don't want could also benefit somebody else's house. You know, yeah, getting rid of them, take up space, and now you have space to just breathe. You feel lighter. How great that is, huh? So, alrighty. So I'm going to be on for the next 8 minutes because I do have stuff to do in my life, as I'm sure you do too. Oh, funny. I've shown up at Goodwill with stuff, and they are just like, no thanks. I'd be curious as to what that stuff is, but you know what? You can also, seriously, I don't know where you live. My husband and I, we live on a corner lot, and we have a giant free sign that when we have things, we'll put up a table, we'll just say free. Somebody will take it. You know, I don't know, HOAs and stuff like that might not have it. You can put a thing on a free cycle, a buy nothing group on Facebook. Is there anybody crafty who could use these jars from my, what are those candles? Yankee candles, you know? There are ways to get things out into the world, connecting them with people you want. Okay. And, yeah, Facebook Marketplace does free stuff. Seriously. So you can find a good home for things and make it easy on yourself, you know, but definitely do. Yeah, there you go. Most of my furniture is from my aunt and uncle that always gets things that tried it and give it away. So, you know, we have all been the benefactors of other people's items. Many of us have been. Let's do that same thing for other people. What are the things that I have in my life that aren't doing it for me? How can I help somebody else with it? You know, my husband got I'm going to remember, quick pot, hot pot, whatever it is, quick cooker. We don't really use it as much. So we'll probably donate at some place that somebody can make some awesome things, because we don't eat that kind of food as often as we thought he did. You know? Yeah. There are plenty of places. This is the great too. I love it. They took the tables too. Yeah, that's when you need to be specific about it. Sometimes put a tarp out or say table is not free. I don't know. And then you know what the great thing is maybe they needed the table more than you did. You know, you buy another table. It's have some fun with it. But what I want to offer is, when you look for opportunities, they will appear to you. Maybe this is why, and not to get all woo-woo and like the universe, but maybe I popped up on your FYP page on TikTok today because the universe said, hey, you said you've been struggling with clutter. Guess what? There's help out there. Now, I may not be your flavor of help. This is how I show up. I don't always show up in my bathrobe, but we just got back from vacation. I thought I'd pop on. But I am informal. I am fun. I like to make life fun. I like to make teaching fun, coaching fun. I don't like it to be earnest. I use simple words. Thank you for the puppy butt. That is very cute. I like to use words that people understand, because here's the thing that stopped me from getting help, decluttering help, self-help, was like, shit, what's my ego? Is that my ego, or is that my id, or is that my subconscious, or my unconscious? Is my unconscious? No, I talk about being in your car and driving, right? We've all been in our car and driven. We all know what it's like to feel out of gas. You all feel like when you feel like you're excited to get someplace, and we've all felt like that time when you're like driving forward, but you're dreading it. You're like, oh, I have to go to the dentist. I don't want to go there. I have to go to this thing, right? Or, oh my gosh, I'm going to like vacation. I'm driving, When I told myself about my life, I said, why can't I treat my life like a road trip? And the answer came back, I don't know why. I was like, I don't know, I'm going to try it. Made such a difference. It took the overwhelm out. It made it seem doable and fun. And that's because you fall in love with your destination, right? We are wearing the same robe right now. There you go, Samerly. This is how we rock. Usually honest, you guys, all I wear pretty much is a black t-shirt and a black hoodie. Even when I was on this vacation, I'm like the black t-shirt queen. It's just simple. People, if I drop food on me, I would see it, right? Yeah, there's many ways you can release the items. And how cool is it to feel that release and that sharing of your abundance with what is no longer doing it for you can light up somebody else's life. So it's a good thing. See, first round closet cuts got rid of 150 items. Michelle, that is a Liz Lemon high five right there. That's awesome. And yeah, Calm Carolyn, I love to wear black because, you know what? I don't care I love seeing well-dressed people. I delight in watching them. I have no interest in being a flamboyantly well-dressed person. I prefer to wear clothes that make me feel comfortable, that I don't have to worry about, so I can go off and do the things I want. It's cool. Your mileage may vary, and that's the great thing. I see some beautifully, stylish people, and I love seeing them, or it's not me. But yes, speaking of clothing, getting rid of clothing that doesn't make you feel good about yourself, passing along those clothes that don't fit you but could make somebody else look awesome, right? Being cool with who you are in your body, that you're cool with what you wear and what your body looks like. Now, I will say that to me, I'll be honest with you, that to me is a bit of a journey because I have gained some weight during COVID. My body is changing because I'm going through the change. But trying to love yourself and working on loving yourself versus beating yourself up, loving yourself is a worthy goal. Learning to not beat yourself up at every corner is also a goal, and it takes practice for me. And part of the reason I show up on TikTok in my bathrobe without makeup, having not showered, literally, is to show myself that it's okay, that what I look like doesn't matter because I am offering people, value. And I don't need to look a certain way to add value to the world, okay? Okay. Same boat with fashion. Dress simply. Yeah, it helps with the clutter. How do I organize if I don't have a place to put it? It's things I want to keep. Similarly, no funds to get the things I need to organize them. You don't need much to organize it with. You know what you need to do? Here's the deal, is deciding what you want and deciding what is a good home. And oftentimes, it might be, how do I organize it if I do not have a place to put it? Things you want to keep. Literally, you could get a tote, plastic totes from Target, That's what I do. And they are like $5. And if you don't have like a bureau, you could use baskets, you could use bags. There are so many things that you can use that are probably for free or very inexpensive to save the things you want to keep. What I want to offer though is here's a thing for my coaching, and then I do need to scoot, but I will. Oh, see, so many good questions coming on. I promise everybody who I'm not able to get your question today, here's how I'm going to help you, is go to my TikTok page and like my page, and then I think you're able to send me a message through TikTok. If I didn't answer your question, shoot me the question in an email. I will either direct you to some of the videos that I've done on it, or I can create a video for you and just post it to say this is how I would answer this, all right? But what I want to offer is that there are 3 layers of clutter. There's sentimental, there's stored, and there's, this is what I get for making them all start with S. There's surface, there's stored, and there's sentimental. And stored clutter, sometimes it's that you have, like the numbers are off. You have too many things for the amount of space you have. Like, for example, trying to cram too many things into one of these little squares here, then look at how many of a certain item that you have. Somebody mentioned doing away with 150 pieces of clothing. So that might be like a math problem type thing. Underbed storage, plastic bags. Get creative. You do not need to. People, you don't need to buy wicked expensive organizer things to get organized. If anything, sometimes those jam you up because they're too fussy. They're too, here's a little thing here. Oh, I hate that. Get it organized so you can find it easily, that it looks good in your home, that you know where to get it like that, and then go off and live your life. Don't be alphabetizing your socks. Marie Kondo is not going to come, and even her, she's realizing that a certain amount of it is too much. The organizing police are not going to come to your house and say, I can't believe you didn't, fold your underwear. I won't do it. My underwear is not folded, but I know where it is. It's in a drawer. I can get my drawers out of my drawers, if you know what I mean. So don't put a roadblock in front of you saying, I can't get organized because I can't afford the organizing system. No, you can use a free plastic bag from the grocery store. You have things around you. Get creative. I store things in these suitcases, Yeah, frugal is the way. Frugal is creative. You don't have to be creative to spend a lot of money, but you can be creative and get to where you want, and then you're also saving the money because you didn't spend it on stuff, Good morning. My trip was awesome. My trip was great. Thank you. I like to get off of the grid sometimes. Part of me, and honestly, this is when my part of my, when we were on vacation, I really realized for how I am that I need to get away from a lot of people and noise. Certain points that I just do not function well in chaotic environments for a long period of time. I need to get away from those, and to find that, to remind myself of that when I went on this trip, and have an image of, we were at this loud bar and then we went to a quiet pool, and I'm like, oh, I felt so much better at the quiet pool. Maybe I'm getting to be an old lady, it doesn't matter, but I felt better. So thank you very much, everybody. Okay, as I mentioned before, I'm gonna my 3 S's are surface clutter, surface, and I'll get into these more later, and I may even have a video, but surface clutter, that's the everyday stuff that's kind of just cluttering up. Then you get stored clutter, that's the stuff behind your doors and drawers, and then you've got sentimental clutter. So those are the 3 layers of clutter. Always start with surface clutter, because that will give you some easy wins. Then you can move on to stored clutter. That's usually, again, the stuff that you have too much of, that's behind doors, like in closets and stuff. And then sentimental is important, but I always leave that for last, because I want you to get, that's always the last part of the journey. I want you to get practice on making decisions about your stuff and how you want your life to look and feel. Okay? So thank you, everybody who has shown up, who just showed up. My name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. I help you get your life from where you are now to where you want to be. I treat it like a road trip. That's why I call my coaching Destination Decluttered. When you're excited about your destination, you're going to be more likely to show up and do the things that you need to do to get there than if you're dreading it or you don't know why you're doing it, okay? I show up and do TikTok lives, so I will do some more. As I said, I just got back from a trip. I hopped on for a hot minute because I just wanted to check in and see how everybody's doing. And what I want to offer is I will make a video when I look at my calendar, see when my coaching clients are. I will post a schedule of when I will do these TikTok lives. So if you want to show up, you'll know when to do that. Oftentimes people say that they will start decluttering and just put these on in the background while they're going through their surface clutter, which is, I think, a great idea. I post these also to the Destination Decluttered YouTube page if you want to pop one of those on and catch up on some of those things. And the great thing is that I'm here to help you. I know what it's like to feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I need some help. What is that thing? When the student is ready, the teacher appears. I know that feeling. I want to be that for you. I am that for you, because if you're stuck with clutter and stuff, I know how to get you through that. It's like a trip I've been on before with myself, with other clients. I make it fun, I make it easy, and you learn skills that you're going to have for the rest of your life. Okay? Please like my TikTok page. Please like me on Facebook, Instagram, all those things. Spread the word. If you know people that are cluttered that are not on TikTok, let them know about Destination Decluttered on Instagram, Destination Decluttered on YouTube, Destination Decluttered on Facebook, all the places, because I want to help as many people as I can. You're going to feel so much better. When you feel better, you do better. And oftentimes, all that's between you and feeling better is getting rid of the stuff in between. It's the stuff that you're literally tripping over and it's stumbling and remove that stuff and you're going to have freedom. Okay? I love it. I love that, Julius, and thank you so much. Hey, it's just me, Beth. I'm a Beth, too. Nice to see you. Okay, I really have to get out of my pajamas and doing some good stuff. But thank you, Calm Carolyn, for spreading the word. It's life-changing. Oh, you guys, it means a lot to me that I'm helping you, and then you telling me that I'm helping. It's like this cool, nice little cycle, because when I know I'm helping people, I will take time out of my life to help more people. If I didn't know it was working, I might not show up, okay? I love it. All right, you guys, I have to go, but you're gonna have an awesome day. You are gonna have so many cool thoughts about possibility, what you want your life to look and feel like. Your house can be decluttered, your life can be decluttered, and you will feel so much better when you just start saying to yourself, how do I want my life to look and feel? All right? I will see you the next time I do one of these, and it will be soon, I promise. All right? Bye.